everyone, and welcome back to another video. I have a lot of fun things to share with you that I have collected over the last few weeks. I have been hitting up my local savers and a few consignment stores, and I have really been trying to be specific with my thrifting. I don't want to be over the top with how many things I'm purchasing. I want to be really strategic, and I found some amazing gems and some great deals. First thing I'm going to start with is actually plates, because I have a very deep problem with vintage plates. First thing I got is this hand-painted, I think it's hand-painted in Japan, sort of serving dish, I'm gonna say. And the reason that drew it to me, other than just the beautiful floral pattern, there's a hole here, and I'm gonna get one of those gold handles to be able to use this. I am gonna test this for lead. I have a sneaky suspicion that this is probably gonna test positive for lead, so that's unfortunate, but you never know. And it was $3.99, so I figured it was a good little dish to have. And I can always come up with, I don't know, maybe it'll be a cute like jewelry tray or something if it does have lead in it and we can't actually eat off of it. The next is a set of Port Marion, is that how you say it? Port Marion plates. They are a little distressed, so I will say they're not in perfect condition, but I do think these will be great on my plate wall. They're super heavy duty, and they have some different stamps on the back. This is what this one has. It says the Botanic Garden circa 1818, Port Marion. I didn't realize it was oven to table and freezer and microwave safe. That's actually really cool. And then this is the back stamp on the other one. So I just love these. I love that they're a little bit different than the Spode that I collect. But I think, you know, I might try and clean them up a little bit, but they have some cracking and crazing, so not ideal, but they were $5 for the two together. Speaking of Spode, I think I hit the jackpot. This past week I had to deliver, my other business is like a soap business, and I was doing deliveries, and one of the stores is called District 5. I think I've taken you there before, around the holidays maybe. She had 6 different Spode blue and whites, and she priced them at $2, you guys. I had to ask her, I'm like, are you sure these are $2? I really don't think that you want them to be $2. And she said, nope, they're $2. So I got this one, which is Continental Views, the Spode Blue Room. This pattern I have in quite a few other colors. This is the Blue Room Collection, the Woodman. I just love the flower rims. Oh, I have 2 of those, same pattern. So there were 2 of those. And then we have this one. This is the Rhinoceros House. So these are all in pretty good condition. 2 of the dishes do have a little chip on them, but for $2, I was not going to complain about that. And I think they'll be great on a plate wall. I might actually think of doing some plate, like a plate wall in the living room here over the, I was gonna say over the dining room table, in the living room here over the TV. So I don't know, but 6 plates, $2 each for $12. That was my big win. And yesterday at Savers, I found these 2, which is, I think, so bizarre. I never find duplicates of anything, but they are just Johnson Brothers serveware pieces. They do not have their lids on them, but that's okay, because I'm actually thinking this could be great for planters to put flowers in or something like that. And they were $8 a piece, which I think is kind of expensive. For my Savers is getting a little crazy with their pricing, but either way, $8 a piece, and I thought the colors were really nice. They're a little bit more subtle than what I'm used to, but that's okay. I think they'll be super cute. So I'll show you the pattern up close. I think this is the, it doesn't say it, but this is what the stamp looks like. It doesn't say the pattern, but I want to say when I looked it up, it was like a gray, gray hobnail, something like that. But anyway, so I got 2 of those. Last for our dish roundup, I got some pie dishes. I just thought they were super sweet. I don't plan on actually making pie from them because they do have a few cracks and some discoloration. So there's a strawberry pie. I just thought these were so cute as decor for pie season. And there was also a pumpkin pie. So sweet and darling for fall. This one was $5.49. I think the other was $6.49. And then there's an apple pie as well. Next up is this tray basket. I have been on the lookout for some more baskets, but I'm finding a lot of them at Savers specifically to be just really flimsy, not things that I can really use, and I liked how sturdy this tray was. There's no marks or anything on it, but it's in really good condition, and they priced it at $4.49. So I thought that would be cute, even just for, you know, breakfast in bed or cocktails on the patio. It's sturdy enough where you could definitely put like a pitcher filled with liquid. I'm thinking maybe margaritas, and just bring this outside. I just thought it was super cute, and it does have this nice bar here as additional support. So yeah, I thought this was super cute, but I am on the lookout for more traditional kind of hanging baskets, Lanaver baskets, things like that. I have been collecting Martha Stewart Livings for the last few months now, and they're like 99 cents at Savers. Thought it was funny I found this the day after Easter, so not as fitting, but I just think it's fun to flip through. I have a lot of her books, but I remember this magazine being like the thing that my mom and I looked forward to coming in the mail, and it was just such a memorable and nostalgic moment for me. So I love just going through these. This one happens to be April 2019, so it's not as old. It's probably one of their last issues actually. But it's just fun to look through, and it's in really good condition. I love people who save their magazines and keep them in like top-notch condition. I really appreciate that. So then we're gonna head into the book category, which is another weak spot for me. If you've been following me for a while, you know I love cookbooks. I love all kinds of cookbooks, new ones, thrifted ones, things from far and wide. I love vintage cookbooks, so I have always done well in the book section. This one is a little bit more of a entertaining garden cookbook, which couldn't be more perfect for spring. And I think it was written in early 2000s, but it is darling to look through. There's so many cute ideas, and they theme them out by themes. So for instance, this one's a Mad Hatter party, and all the recipes are in there. This was written by someone who lives on Long Island, I think back in 2003. So it's definitely got the nostalgic vibes to it, but also feels like it could totally be something you could just do today. This before, but I loved this. I've always wanted to try this with the ice bucket and the flowers. So that was a good reminder to test that out maybe. But the recipes actually look really good, and this is published by Clarkson Potter. So Clarkson Potter is one of my favorite publishers. They do all the celebrity books like Ina and Jada, and Martha Stewart for most of her books as well. So there's just a lot of trust I have in Clarkson Potter books, so I have loved flipping through this, and it's super fun. And the other thing I thought was really great, let me see if I can find it. There is a little section in the beginning, here we go, that goes through all of the edible flowers. Not all, I guess most. There's definitely some missing from this list. But I have been, now that my garden is pretty much in the ground, I'm going to be working on an edible flower garden for spring, which I did a little bit last year, but this year I got some new stuff. So it was fun to look through this to see if I wanted to add any new flowers, which I pretty much already had most of these covered, but anyway, as a New England girl, I always love when I can find local cookbooks, and I didn't even know this one existed. This is the New England Clam Shack cookbook, and the reason why I got this is because I've probably been to about half of the locations in here, and it's recipes from all of my favorite places. So I spend a lot of my time in Rhode Island during the summers, and that's like where a lot of these recipes are from. And there are, all the places that I go to have recipes in here. So for instance, Evelyn's is in the town where my parents have their house. My parents live in Tiverton. And this is like, we literally eat here all the time, every summer. So I just know this is gonna really be a cherished book for me. I don't know that I'll ever really get into frying fish and kind of that fry shack. It's just so perfectly done when you're like coming off of the beach and there's like sand on your feet, and it's just a quick grab for dinner. There's something really special about the atmosphere of a clam shack, but it's really fun to look through this, and there's some really good soup recipes too. So maybe in the fall, I'll pull this out and give it a try. I'm not usually a celebrity chef cookbook person other than like Ina and Martha, but Bobby Flay actually surprises me sometimes, and I didn't know this book actually existed until I saw it and flipped through, and I've already cooked about 4 of the recipes out of here, even his scrambled eggs, which I know sounds crazy, like do you really need a recipe for scrambled eggs? But the way he does it, he uses mascarpone cheese and butter, and his trick is to start with a cold pan, which was news to me, even though I have eggs almost every morning. So it's been really fun to look through this. I've also tried his chicken Milanese, which was a huge hit with my husband the other night. And here we go, here's his scrambled eggs. So this is the chicken Milanese that I made the other day, and there's 2 different toppings to it. I just think it was such a good recipe, so I'm definitely gonna be cooking more from this one. FedEx delivery. Okay, back to the books. I have 2 more. This one I had always been eyeing on Amazon, and I just never purchased it. I have a cart filled on Amazon with cookbooks that I never end up purchasing, and this is really why, because I eventually find them at the thrift store. So this was $5.99. It is a plant-based cookbook, which I was vegan for a while. I'm not anymore, but I still love eating a ton of vegetables and fruits and just plant-based things. But this is the inside cover. This cover sold it for me. Even if I do nothing with it, I know that this girl speaks, that this is my love language. And so when I open a cookbook and there is multiple pages of pretty vintage dishes, I know it's for me. And really the photography in here and just the way the recipes are written, they're almost handwritten. They're just so darling, so sweet. He has like tips for flower arranging. So I have looked through this book quickly, but I knew just from thumbing through it at the store that I definitely wanted to add this one to my collection. And I think it'll be perfect for summer and spring and just eating fresh from farmers markets and gardens. So loved this one. And the last book was a little out of my element. It's called Food to Die For. It is very Halloween coded, and it was $5.49, but it's in fabulous condition. And I just think it's very cool because it actually goes through all the haunted places in the US, and there's recipes that go along with it. So it's gonna be really fun. I didn't really look through this a ton because I wanna save it for Halloween and fall. I think it'll be really fun to do that and get some like cool, fun ideas, maybe have like a little dinner party. But because it was just so unique and different, and at the thrift store, I feel like I'm doing good because I'm saving books that may be going to landfill. That's how I justify this. So anyway, that was the other book. Plus, at Savers, they have the discount where you buy 4 books, you get the 5th one free. So this was my 5th one free, and that's how I justified it. I have 2 more things to share with you. One actually is this necklace, and I'm not much of a thrifted jewelry person, meaning I don't have luck with it really, but I found this necklace. It is a Joan Rivers necklace, and my favorite part, oh, I didn't even get the favorite part, hold on. Okay, my favorite part about this necklace, other than that it's just really cute and it's great quality, is it's completely interchangeable. Okay, so I have the pink one on here, and all you have to do, hold please, I'm gonna see if I can show you this. So this little doodad pops off, kit here with all the different colors. So let's say I wanted to just do like a simple spring pearl. Just, if you can see it, this just pops back on. And now I have a completely different necklace. So I love this, and I actually loved it so much that I went down the rabbit hole on eBay of buying all of the Joan Rivers interchangeable jewelry, and then I kind of like talked myself down and I said, you can only buy them if you find them in person, Caitlin. We're not spending hundreds of dollars on jewelry on eBay. I think I paid $30 for this, which is kind of expensive for a Savers, but they must have known what it was worth, because I think pretty much on eBay they're anywhere from $75 to $125 each. So loved this find. And the last thing is actually right behind where the camera is. I found this at a consignment store, and it's stunning. Let me show you. I found this trunk, this wicker trunk. It is in such good condition. It's got a nice wood interior. All of the hardware is in such good shape, and it's just beautiful. And the best part is I think I paid $30 for it. So we've been using it as like a side table over here. And I just think it'll be fun to like fill it with blankets or just things in the house that we might not want people to see if they come over. So I'll push her back. I'll push this back. Oh yeah, and the hardware here. It's just so stunning. The details, this like roping detail. I just thought this was such a good deal for $30. Okay, so that's everything I have collected over the last 4 weeks of thrifting. I have been getting a little bit more specific and picky with my thrift finds, which I think is actually a good thing, because sometimes when you get in the thrift store, you get carried away with the cost of certain things. And I love the idea that the thrift store does help us in reducing waste, but it can also be a little bit like overconsumption if you buy stuff that you don't think you're going to use or need. So I've really been trying to find the balance between that, and I already have so many beautiful pieces. So when I'm adding something, I either want to add to something I collect or something that is truly unique and beautiful and makes me happy, like this necklace. So yeah, I love watching people's thrift hauls, and then I haven't had it figured out how to totally style stuff yet, or else I would show you that, so maybe that can be another video. But I hope you enjoyed my little thrift haul, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.